MSNBC is trying to fix their shitty reputation with a rebrand. They're like, we're just gonna rebrand it. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna rebrand, but still be slightly similar. Their new name is, I wish we had a drum roll. Okay, we need a drum roll for this. Their new name is going to be My Source News Opinion World, or MSNow for short. Hold on. Steven, am I missing something?
Hey, hold on. Is this a joke? You're not being for real right now, are you?
It's for real. It's not a joke. I'm being serious.
I literally just turned over to the producers and said, like, is this for real?
You didn't know?
No, I've been working all day. No, I had no.
My Source News Opinion World. This is not a joke. This is not a prank. It's real.
Not MSNow.
MSNow. Isn't that catchier?
No.
No, it's going to save them. It's going to say, because they were MSNBC and now they are MSNow, and that's going to save them. And, I'm just thinking first of all, how terrible. Whoever was in the conference room brainstorming this, like, oh, I got it. Hold on, guys. I got it. My Source News Opinion World. Boom. We did it. Whoever did that, fired immediately. Get them the hell out of the conference room. They never should have been there in the first place. And I'm just thinking, like, if they really wanted a name that would save them and give them the Trump bump, I mean, you have President Trump himself, who already gave them the best name they could ever possibly have, lest we forget.
CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news.
You're never gonna top that. You're never gonna top that. And please stop pretending like you are not MSDNC, because we already know that you are. Of course, you are just the Democrat National Committee Network. That is you. And so I just thought, as we talk about MSNow moving forward, we should just remember, let's just reminisce. Let's bask in some of the lowlights of MSNBC. Number 3, let's start there, okay? Let's do the top 3. We'll start at number 3. We'll just keep getting better. Morning Joe. Oh, Morning Joe, Joe Scarborough. There are a lot of good ones in that particular show, but you remember that as President Trump's popularity kept climbing, MSNBC was going downwards. Like there was just a converse, just whoop. It's not the right way. It's not the way you want to go. And possibly the worst possible way to start your day would have been Morning Joe. I wouldn't know because I never watched it. But the thing with social media that's been so great is that you didn't have to watch it to see the disastrous clips that came from it. You could just watch the clips and laugh at them and not have to watch the entire thing. And so I want to play how they spoke to President Trump as he was running for president the first time around back in 2015 for the 2016 election.
I want to get our hands around a very difficult situation.
All right, Donald.
Hey, Joe,
Don, you got to let us ask questions. You can't just talk. No, you got to let us actually ask questions. You're just talking. All Muslims. Donald, you're not going to keep talking. We will go to break if you keep talking. We're going to ask you questions. All right, go to break. Go to break, everybody. Go to break. Go to break right now. We'll be right back.
Oh. Spoiler alert, who won that pissing contest? President Trump is now the 47th president after being the 45th president, Joe. How do you like them apples? And so you know what happened, obviously. And so you have President Trump winning and then winning again. And then after President Trump won again in the 2024 election, they, of course, were, you know what? I'm going to say a completely different duo, Joe and Mika Brzezinski, putting their tail between their legs, and just a completely different persona coming from these two. Watch.
Joe and I realize it's time to do something different. And that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
Oh, well, what could have possibly happened for you guys to do the about face that you just did on national television? Well, see, ratings dropped 27% from July 2024 to July 2025, just in that time frame. Ratings in the age of 25 to 54 demographic dropped 40%. Oof. That is not. That's like, Stephen, when we talk about golf, you don't want a lower number, right? You don't want the lower number.
You want the lower number in golf.
You don't want the lower number here.
Yeah, they're doing it wrong. They've got it backwards.
Maybe they think that this is like golf, and you want your demographics and your ratings to drop and go lower. Guys, it's not golf.
Maybe that's why they came up with MS Now, because
MS
they wanted
Now.
To go lower. So it makes sense now. They're just playing the wrong sport.
Like, oh shoot, we're supposed to get more higher ratings, not less. So I gotta show you a couple more here. Just to bask in the glory of all of this. We knew that these people were the enemy of the people, as President Trump once said so many years ago. It's just all coming to fruition. And I want to remind you guys, as we're going through these, make sure that you are subscribed. Again, to all of the new subscribers, hello, we're happy to have you. Hit the like button and comment. It'll help us in the algorithm, which those of you who are new, you don't realize how much we've been censored from the overlords over at YouTube. Just recently got our monetization back after like 2 years plus. So make sure to share the show with a friend as well. Coming in at number 2, Rachel Maddow. I told my producers, I was like, Rachel Maddow has to be in here somewhere, because there are a lot of great nuggets from Rachel Maddow. But, you have just Rachel Maddow going in just constantly, just like a leftist woman, constant panic, constant hysteria coming from Rachel Maddow. Or is it Chris Hayes? I get the two confused all the time. And it just has people perhaps just turning off their TVs and cutting the cord and saying, I can do without this crap. I don't need to watch MS Now, MSNBC, whatever the hell your name is now. I don't want to hear this anymore.
We do now live in a country that has an authoritarian leader in charge. We have a consolidating dictatorship in our country. And it sounds melodramatic to say it. I know.
Does it?
But just go with that for a minute, right? Think in melodramatic terms.
All right, Mark Cuban. So here's the deal. You don't even realize what a dictator is, because here's what I can tell you. Number one, it's definitely not somebody who was elected with an overwhelming majority, 77 million votes, won all of the swing states. And number two, it definitely doesn't portray you as smart to be carrying water for Donald Trump's predecessor, who, of course, told everyone that they weren't allowed to earn a living, earn a paycheck, feed their families if they didn't get an injection into their bodies. Carrying water for this guy and calling this guy the dictator who was fairly elected in a free and fair election. It's like, I think Rachel Maddow is about the place where AOC is, where you hear the hamster's in the wheel, the hamster's turning the wheel is turning in the head, and then it's, oh gosh, the wheel breaks, and the hamster, you just hear it every boom, boom, thud, thud. That's what's happening upstairs in Rachel Maddow's head. And then you have one of my favorites, Joy Reid, because I think the biggest ratings failure that even the network couldn't ignore was Joy Reid herself. So MSNBC, at risk of being called a racist, a woman hater, which they were called, they still had to cancel her. And President Trump at that moment even praised that decision, writing on Truth Social, MSDNC has finally gotten the nerve up to fire one of the least talented people in television, the mentally obnoxious racist Joy Reid. Based on her ratings, which were virtually non-existent, she should have been canned a long time ago. And so I do miss her, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I feel like we are missing out on a lot of nuggets now that she is not on MSNBC. I'm sorry, MS Now, spewing her hatred, spewing her racism. And I just want to imagine for a second that she wasn't fired by MSNBC and was allowed to go out and spew the nonsense and the lies and the ridiculousness that she was allowed to go out and spew. We would still be getting way more hilarious stuff like this gem she said yesterday on a podcast.
They can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music.
That was about white people. white people couldn't invent anything. White people haven't invented anything. Well, I don't know. Call me crazy. It's just that that's just not true at all. Just off the top of my head, let's see. White people have invented the light bulb, the telephone, the automobile. Seems kind of useful, right? Let's see. Newtonian physics, the sport of basketball, photography, the flushing toilet, and blue jeans. But hey, who's counting, right? Who's keeping track? It's just easier to just spew nonsense, and we see what that leads to. So if only the left leaned into its opposition like the right did with the South Park jokes, but they won't. They can't, because their little fifis can't handle it, and they can't give Donald Trump any wins. None at all, which is why you have Democrat leaders actually simping for criminals and gangbangers and violent illegals. That's why. Simply because it doesn't matter what it is, they cannot give President Trump any wins. Well, you see what happens with that? You see where that leads, MSDNC? But good things happen when you embrace the right, okay? Let this be a case study for MSNBC to watch jealously, just wishing they could be CNN, which, boy, you know you're in the tank when you are actually wishing you could be CNN. Wishing you could be CNN, like that is low. That is a low bar. You should feel really bad about yourself if you are wishing you could be CNN. But that is MSNBC right now, because Abby Phillips' show is still failing with the rest of CNN's lineup, but it's failing way less than the others, especially those on MSNBC, because who do they add to their panel? Oh, the very smart conservative Scott Jennings.
I worked for an anti-war president, and I saw, no, he was. He ran against.
How many countries did you bomb the crap out of?
Well, that's what I'm going to say,
Lord
Scott.
have mercy. And you know what else?
He's a
the fact that they wouldn't give these 13 service members' families the time of
bullshit,
day.
Dude.
Time of day.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but Donald Trump.
There's been a lot of talk about that.
What reality do you live in? He's literally got these guys in the White House where they're signing documents and shaking hands. Acknowledge the man is solving peace.
India questioned about whether that was an actual deal.
It happens on almost a weekly basis. Just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge it.
And I will also acknowledge that Donald Trump
we reported on this network.
Seems to have
he looks into the camera.
An affinity for Vladimir Putin in a way. No, you're not going to get away with calling me a liar. I know that's like the line you're going to throw out, but I'm not lying.
You're lying.
Nobody's lying about anything.
Sure you are.
Well, it turns out she was. And Scott Jennings is the only bright light at that network anymore. But at least CNN has figured that out. I'm sure they will be very upset if he decides to run for Senate or for Congress, because they're going to be like, no, God, shoot. The only reason why other people are watching than like the 5 people who are family to the people who are on the panel, that's going to be a disaster for them. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.